professional wrestling, am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes.
For Wrestling with Him.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes.
For Wrestling with Him.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes.
For Wrestling with Him.
That's right.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Hello, friends. I'm your pal in the mainstream media.
And I'm the Riz.
And you know, Riz, it takes years of strenuous, dedicated training before you're worthy to step inside a professional wrestling ring. But it takes even more time to develop complex, highly astute opinions about professional wrestling. Am I right?
That is correct. Do you know where we can find that?
Yes,
On the Wrestling Mayhem.
that's right.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com. This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. Production services by Sidekick Media Services. And listeners like you, supporting us at patreon.com/awesomecast. It is the AwesomeCast episode 747 coming in for a landing, and shout outs to all your parents living in debt out there. But we got a fun show here today, despite that start. First of all, we got in the chats. Oh, which button's which? I'm still learning the new setup. We have the Dudders. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. And we also have Dave Podner's with us as well from the Pod Cave.
Yep. Coming to you live.
Fighting-
Or am I?
Fighting
from
cats,
the Pod Cave.
Fighting cats off, if you will.
Yes. Yeah, fighting fit cats so I can actually have a chair.
And also with us back once again from skillbuilder.io. I could have looked in your corner. Why didn't I just do that? Kip Mueller is with us again.
Good to see everybody.
Good. I love the branded backdrop you got going on here. That's good.
Well, thank you for the compliments. I'm interested to tell you. I look forward to telling you more about that later.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I know you were giving us some updates about that, and that was a while ago. I can't remember last time you were on the show. Definitely too long. It was good to get you back in here for everything. So anyways, let's get into our the awesome thing of the week. And Kit, since you're back on the show after so long, what's your awesome thing? Let's start with you.
Well, I got to tell you, thanks for asking. My awesome thing of the week is Sure Thing, which is a new initiative from the River Life, the good folks over there. They have it's part event space, part restaurant, part like vibe and chill space. It's over right next to, it's on the Allegheny right next to the Roberto Clemente. They took 10 barges and activated our riverfronts, which is something that we desperately need. We have a precarious relationship with our rivers, and it's just great to see that once again, River Life has made the bold move of putting something out there, getting some community involvement and input. The great folks at Brew Gentlemen are running the food and beverage, and I've spent 6-7 nights out there, on the water with friends, family, people from in and out of town, and it's currently my favorite thing.
That's awesome. This is one of those things where a lot of us saw it, at least in my world, and said, "Can I put a wrestling ring on it?" So, but no, it looks really cool. Like it's down from the park, is it? I'm trying to figure out how many bridges up it is.
You come across the Roberto Clemente right across from PNC, down that lawn, in between Rachel Carson and Roberto Clemente.
Awesome. How's it been for people-y? Is it been like overly people-y? Is it hard to get on there or?
No, I mean every time I've been in there, it's been busy. Like there's been a short line, but it's been like there's a life to it and a vibe to it.
Nice.
We went the other night for the fireworks, and we still, got beer and food, and were able to find a seat.
Excellent. Cool. Any tips for anybody going down there?
Go about. So, what I heard from a little birdie is this could be a pilot, and we might see more. So, give feedback to the powers that be, both in and around downtown.
Awesome. So that's the Shore thing, and he said, is this part of River Life putting this on? Because I know we used to cover them when I used to do the news program for Pittsburgh Foundation, and it was before they were looking to put in the switchback and a lot of the improvements that they were doing along the shore that we've seen over the last decade, I guess. So it's cool to see this kind of addition, and I presume this is kind of a tryout thing for what's going to be happening next year with the NFL draft that I know we have a lot of improvements happening in the city for, right?
There's a lot of activity going downtown specifically for that event. Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Thanks for your awesome thing of the week. Katie, what do you got?
Hello Kitty and a new Switch game.
What?
Together.
Oh, all in one?
Together. So we got just announced we are getting it's called Hello Kitty and Friends Freeze Tag Party. It's coming to Switch on November 6th, and it looks like you can either chase or be chased, and you could be your favorite Sanrio character. You're all running around. You all have different magical abilities, and you can either play just by yourself or you can play with your friends. And there's also, the magical tag battles. 6 challengers must evade 2 hunters until the clock runs out or risk being frozen. So there's a lot of fun options. I'm looking forward to it.
Tremendous. It looks like a fun little mini game. It looks like something you're going to be playing with your niece, right?
Yep, 100%.
There you go. While we're on the Hello Kitty line of things, I guess it is appropriate to how is your Ninja Turtle Hello Kitty update going there?
It's going well because I got I was not prepared for this.
Oh no.
I got a photo. Well, my mom, first of all, got me the Donatello Hello Kitty crossover and Cimarron Donatello in one time. And then I got this photo. I don't know if you can see, but that's Michelangelo green. That is the only one I was missing from my niece and nephew. And they sent me that picture and said, do you have this one yet? If so, can we trade? So I am making trades across the state. And so now I officially have all 4 of the green Hello Kitty turtles.
Partially related to that, I did take my Raphael Hello Kitty on a site visit to South Carolina this past Friday. It was a day trip up and back. So there it is in Carolina. There it is out on the Baja track we'll be using in October. We were in Atlanta for a layover for a little bit. And, of course, back with the cows in Pittsburgh. So as far as my line, I got a lot. These are the duplications I have. They are filling a Happy Meal box at this point. So that shows you how good we've been doing. We've been going way too much. Had a lot of chicken nuggets over the last 2 weeks. But I did get some updates. We had a very good day at McDonald's yesterday, and we got the Kuromi and Raphael and the cinnamon roll Donatello. So, and I've been wanting one of the Kuromis for a bit. Got to get the Halloween line on it. And then also, I got to give a shout out to Emily, MED of the Gambino family in the wrestling world. We were at RWA, and she gifted me the Michelangelo Hello Kitty, which is obviously my favorite one. So there you go. And then of course, for review, I got kind of a one of each. Got some My Melodies and some cinnamon roll Hello Kitties, and of course, I just have so many Raphael Hello Kitties. That's why I busted one out for the trip. So, we're having a trading party for sure because I gotta do and anything I have left, I'm just gonna do weird stuff with, like we did the Raphael on the trip. Like I don't we'll battle. I've seen somebody take one and they're repainting it as Slash, the evil turtle. There's a lot of fun happening there. And they said it took me 9 hours to do this. I'm like, really? I have to look at the detail on that thing. So that's how that's going. Dave, I know you have a really quick Hello Kitty update as well.
Yeah, I'm actually going to move my camera here.
Okay, what do you got there?
There we go. So we do have 5 new ones. We have not gotten any duplicates yet.
Wow.
We feel very lucky about that. But yeah,
Ooh, you got a lot more of
So-
the white ones than we do, I think.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. They just look so nice.
Mhm. Nice.
And Ruth's getting really excited about it too.
We also have only one more of the McDonald Land tins to get too. We got a hamburger last night, so we've been very, very lucky with it. Also, we are swearing off McDonald's for a very long time after this because we're growing way, way, way too much. But it kind of got us with the classic McDonald's characters in those tins. I know, Katie, I was showing. I think I gave you the spare Mayor McCheese that we had, right?
Yes.
You know, and it feels like it's right up your alley because it's like a postcard and stuff, right?
Yep, I'm going to use that passport to go places.
Yes. There you go.
Well,
It's me.
you know what? With the Raphael, are we going to see Raphael somehow on IndieWrestling.us as maybe a guest commentator or part of the ring crew?
I mean, I have enough of them. Why not, right? So, you know, there it is. Geez, where am I on this list?
Did you ask Kit about?
Kid, are you in
Hello
on the
Kitties?
Hello Kitties? I don't know. By his reaction, I feel like this is the first time you might have seen him.
Well, yeah, they are, but now I'm not only intrigued, but I'm gonna go catch up.
Okay. Now I want to warn you. It's a bit to it. There's a bunch of them. There's like 12 of them. I think I got it right. So
Yeah.
you know, so you gotta get going on this.
Fantastic.
So, and as I said, the McDonald's Lands ones are these tins that have like just stickers and stuff with the old classic hamburger, Mayor McCheese, the Fry Guys, Birdie, Grimace, you know, things like that. And they have like a special shake and everything. That's actually delicious. So yeah, it's really, McDonald's is really hitting the childhood hard right now. So we've been really on top of it. So, you know, let's do where are we at? Okay, let's get a little more techie here. So here's a more tippy kind of one. I did get a chance to my MacBook is of age to get that hey, you're going to expire, your Apple One Care is going to expire. And you know, when Macs go, in my experience, when Macs go, they just are done. Right? There's a problem. You're going to basically replace the entire motherboard because one thing went on it, right? And they just inexplicably just do not turn on. I've had this with the Mac Mini. I've had this with my last MacBook that happened with me on a job site before doing a live stream. So I almost throttled the resort tech guy, IT guy that kind of laughed about it. And I was like, well, you're not the one that has to run an effing show right now. But anyways, they, so we talked about a few weeks ago that they were going to roll out Apple Care One. So I think most of us, you know, you usually, used to be, you pay one fee when you get your device that lasts maybe 2 or 3 years. Or lately, you know, for the iDevices, for your mobile devices, there's a monthly kind of thing. So now they just kind of rolled it all into, again, a monthly fee. And yes, this is Apple kind of like, you know, added on, but you know, Apple Care I think is invaluable when it comes to it, down to it, for when things happen, even just replacing that battery before you upgrade your phone and gift it to your mother. So, you know, things like that. So if you go check it out, like, so it let me do that. And the nice thing was, not only was I able to roll in I think I'm paying like $13-14 for my iPhone. It let me extend my MacBook Pro, so I don't have to worry about that. And then it also let me add my Mac Mini, which is also an M1. So it just lapsed at the beginning of the year. And at the time, I just was not able to renew it, right? So now that does have Care on that. And as far as I can tell, in perpetuity, you can be careful if you're also adding a watch, because I added it and realized I was only paying $4 for my watch Apple Care, and it was like $6 to add on another device, and that's across the board. You can add apparently as many devices as you want to this if you have just so many Apple devices, but it is also be cautious, because we were, you know, Katie, we were talking about this earlier today. You know, I'll add my mom's, I'll add, you know, I can add my wife's or something. It's based on devices in your Apple account. So it only sees the devices tied to my, you know, Mike Sorg Apple account, right? I don't see Missy's, I don't see my mother's, I don't see the in-laws that we're all sharing, you know, on was it Apple One or
family plan?
Yeah,
is it the family plan that everyone's under?
Yeah, we have like the Apple One family
Okay.
thing that has all the fitness and the TV and the arcade and stuff too. So it doesn't cross over. You individually each have to be able to do something like that. Since I'm the one, nobody else has Macs, so this makes a lot more sense for me, honestly, because the $20 is 3 devices, and apparently that's about any device you have. And even the AirPods are eligible for something like this, but my Apple Care on those are still going, or warranty or whatever I had, so we're pretty good with that. The Apple TV is a part of this too. I think I'm seeing the HomePod might be a part of it too. So definitely kind of worthwhile if you're already kind of in that world. It may actually save you a couple bucks to do that. And it seems to be all the same theft and all the battery replacement, the express care, all those kinds of things should be included in that too. So it's out there. It works pretty good. If you're on a Mac, both my Macs apparently aren't on the newest update. So they said update your device in order to do this. I just went to my phone and added the device, and it was just fine. So be wary of that. If you're not seeing that on a device, you may have to run an update in order for you to get all those subscriptions. So is anybody thinking about throwing some of their stuff on there? Like Katie, I didn't know if your old Mac Mini would have been qualified for this. I don't know how far back devices go for this thing yet. So
look into that.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So you can always try. You can always pull up you can hit the Apple Care 1 list, and then it'll give you a list of devices that are qualified for it. So I think it did try to get me to put my iPhone 13 on it, and of course I wasn't going to do that. But again, and that's almost 4 years old now, and it was still going to throw an Apple Care on it. So I mean, you really kind of can't beat that, right? So
Not at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know, Kid, are you're Apple, right? Are you
everything? Yeah. And there are no absolutes in life except for get Apple Care, get the coverage. It's saved me thousands and thousands of dollars over the year.
Yeah, worthwhile. Ironically, I was also renewing my Lenovo laptop that we got for a switcher, so I'm just I'll pay for 3 more years. This thing is in my backpack most of the time, and pull it out on site. We're throwing I'll pay the $50 for this thing, right? So I don't know. It's Lenovo, so I really don't know. I've never done a claim on Lenovo, but if I have to get PCs, we're running. We just got a new Lenovo here for the studio. The other one's been running since I think I got this in 2011, and it's been running the shows up until 2 weeks ago. And actually, Kit's face is on that right now in the shot. So and still rolling. I had to replace a hard drive, threw an SSD in there. My God, it loads so quick after I put that SSD in there. It loads better than the new computer. So, but obviously graphics, it kind of slows down a little bit here and there. So, final awesome thing, Dave Podner, what do you got up there?
Well, I have more AI news because we have to have more AI news.
Sure.
And this is Google giving an update to Gemini, and specifically their image creation. It was known as Nano Banana.
That's what we're always going to call it.
Yeah. So it was Nano Banana. Now it's their Flash image, and it is available for everyone, even the free plan. So
Hold
you
on.
don't have to subscribe to it.
I didn't put a title in the corner, but now it's going to be Nano Banana.
Yes.
I feel good about that. There we go.
Yeah. And it does a pretty decent job. People are saying it does things like, you can see there, it'll start with someone and it keeps it consistent across edits, which is nice.
Oh, this is a problem that I've had with ChatGPT for sure.
Yes.
No, we'll make their nose this big, or
Yeah, it's like, we're starting with this person. Okay, how about change this? Oh, you completely changed something else about that.
Oh, wait,
Now,
so it took the picture of the dog and the girl and put them
Merged
together?
it together.
That she's petting that she's hugging the dog. This is great.
I tried that on some photos I have of my cats. So I took 4 individual photos, and I said, take the cats and put it in a fancy living room. It did kind of good. It got 2 of the cats pretty good. The one, it made it kind of bigger, and the kitten, they made it kind of older. And Leo, who's the cream and sickle one, who comes on every so often, it actually added 2 of him and made him bigger, like long hair. So again, not perfect, but it's very, very quick. This is not where like ChatGPT image, where you put it in, it says, "Oh, we're working on it. If you want something faster, pay us money," or just leave and come back.
Mm-hmm.
This is like within seconds.
That's
It'll
amazing.
put it up there.
So you did a sample.
I did. I took pictures of you, me, and Katie,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, put us in a 90s sitcom.
That's
Now,
amazing.
the picture I added of you originally, you had your headphones on,
Okay.
and it had you standing with headphones and holding a microphone.
What is this hoodie I'm
And-
wearing?
I don't know. And I said, well, for the person on the right, remove the headphones and the microphone.
Mm-hmm.
And just with that prompt, it did it.
Hmm.
So it did a pretty good job with keeping our faces kind of normal.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like to me, that's a 1980s sitcom because of the giant, well, I guess 90s were still the giant TV, but it almost feels,
yeah,
it almost feels like we're on the set of Roseanne.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Good call.
Now, the next step, which I didn't do, was take that picture, upload it, and say, write a script for a 90s sitcom based on this picture.
So
And I'm curious to see how that's going to turn out.
So where is this happening in Google? Like, is it, because I think we had a problem before where we're like, okay, which app does this
Right. This is
work with?
Gemini. This is inside Gemini.
So
Yeah.
is this I have to pay for a Gemini, or is this the Gemini
No,
that everybody
this
has
is
in
the free.
in the Gemini
this is
app?
the Gemini everyone has.
Okay, so like
Yeah.
this Gemini app thing that I keep forgetting I have on my phone. Man,
Exactly.
I need to start playing with this thing. I've been living in the ChatGPT world for so long. I need to like expand back out. But also a lot of my workflow's there, so that's just where I just live,
Exactly, yeah.
live.
Well, I mean, this is the new competition. Google won the search space, and now generative AI chat's a new place. So you have ChatGPT, you have Google, you have Microsoft. Copilot still it is not bad, and it's tied into a lot of companies, so they have that kind of tie-in. Who knows what Apple's going to do? If it's going to be, we can do some things on device, but off device, you're going to be able to select a provider of your choice. That would kind of bring things up to speed pretty quick, because it seems like their internal AI is crap. Their image generation, is horrible compared to everyone else's.
Well, just for as a little sample, I just tried it real quick since I do have Gemini on here. I took a picture of me and Riz from this past weekend when we were producing a show. A picture of our guest for Wrestling Mayhem show and another wrestler that we were going to have on that had to be rescheduled just because those are the last pictures I had. And this is what I said, put us in a punk mosh pit. And let's see if I can make this a little bigger. Yeah, there's the one guy. There's these kind of look like the guys in the other thing.
Okay.
And there's Riz. There's Riz there. I don't know if this is a take on me because it's got a headset like I'm wearing. So I mean, you know what? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 5 people I had in my pictures is not bad. And by comparison, these were the pictures that I used.
Wow. They even
was
got
this,
this shirt.
This, and there wasn't a lot of features in this, so there was a lot going on. And then this is the picture I pulled. So yeah, there's no way that's going to look like me and that's going to get out of that. They're just like, I put headphones on a dude. It was basically the deal.
It got pretty close to, like you said, you could tell Riz though.
Oh, it is definitely Riz. It's just,
Yeah.
But he also had like the most full body kind of shot of anybody. So,
Yeah.
But no, that's actually pretty incredible, and that popped up pretty quickly as we were talking. So, that's very cool. So that's in your Gemini app. You can play with photos, and oh my God, that's been unleashed. I want to not tell the wrestling crew about this. Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me, I have not tried Muppet yet on that.
All right.
That seems to be the popular thing.
We'll have to do the Muppet test. She's but anyways, hey, we got an update from our boy Chachi at Chachi's Video Game Minute, so let's go check that out and we'll be right back after this.
Hey kids, welcome back to the Chachi Says Video Game Minute. Here's as much video game news that I can cover in about a minute. Fallout Season 2 trailer and release date has been announced. The show will drop the first episode of Season 2 on December 17th and will release weekly until February 4th. Unlike Season 1, this will be a weekly release. The season seems as if it'll take place in New Vegas and will finally introduce the Death Claw. So, looking forward to that. And finally, TT Games has announced LEGO Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. If you know anything about me, it's I love two things, Batman and Lego. So super hyped for this. The game has been announced for 2026 and will be a collection of moments and stories from all Batman media. We're talking TV, comics, movies, and cartoons. This is an open world adventure through Gotham, much like the Skywalker saga that they released previously for Star Wars, and you can unlock the characters and suits. I, for one, cannot wait to complete this game 100%. Thanks for tuning in to this week's Video Game Minute. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Chachi, for that Video Game Minute. I know Mad Mike had brought up that Lego Batman update when the trailers dropped last week when we were doing Patreon last week, so on Mayhem Show. So very excited to see what's going on with that. So anyways, so hey, quick shout out to our friends at patreon.com/awesomecast. Everybody that supports the show, and of course you get the Patreon feed all night long. You see how the sausage is made as we're getting set up here before and between shows for this and the Wrestling Mayhem show as added bonus for that. And plus, we do get our Patreon after talk, and we have a lot of stories I have a feeling are going to spill over on Patreon, to be honest, today. So maybe we'll get into that throwback thing that Podner threw in here. But thank you everybody to support the show. Brian Crawford, Cynthia Klosky, John Nagore, and Dave Podner for supporting the show, keeping it rolling and keeping the servers spinning on us so you guys can keep enjoying the show. Thank you, everybody. And again, just a reminder, we are here, I don't say it enough, we're live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern on the AwesomeCast YouTube and Facebook, and actually the Sorgatron Media Twitch as well. And there's a squeeze the cut off version that's only this part of my head on Instagram too, if you're over there and happen to see that pop up. And of course, the audio and video is out on all the podcast platforms and YouTube and everything after the show too. And a bunch of clips so you can catch up just in bite size. And also a reminder, we do have a new Substack. We're making a newsletter version of the show. So just for, if you don't have time to listen to an hour of the show, you can go through, get the cliff notes of it, see some of the quotes and some of the discussions we've had from the show that week. So you can stay caught up on everything that we think is at least awesome here on the AwesomeCast. So Kit, with skillbuilder.io, I looked at the thing this time. So what's going on with you guys over there? What's new?
Yeah, I think the last time I was on, I can't believe it or not, I think we were just starting to commercialize the company.
Mm-hmm.
We had, my co-founder, Adam Plisick, who I've been kind of instigating a lot of the startup community building efforts over the past decade plus. He has been teaching at CMU for over 12 years, maybe 13, and had an applied research lab that we are commercializing some of the technology that he had been working on for almost 5 years. That's us in Vermont, a picture of us up in Vermont. It's me, John Pastor, and Adam. I've been building companies for 30 years, and without a doubt, all due respect to my previous teams, but this team is the Avengers. So Adam has been teaching. He was head of product at all of Boston Consulting. He's had numerous exits, written books. He's an advisor and investor in dozens of companies here, very well known. John Pastor, our CTO, one of the smartest people I've ever met in my life. He built a company here called Rent Jungle, sold that to a company called Rainmaker, and then they ended up doing a big roll-up to Real Pages in the real estate data space. So he's aggregating a bunch of data and creating a lot of value around the globe. And then we have Kevon Paimani, who has sold numerous companies to Disney and Amazon, early Netflix, ran AWS's startup marketing, was chief brand officer at Cirque du Soleil, and just on and on and on. So it's a powerhouse team. The idea is that we are creating a platform that allows small organizations and big organizations to sometimes the organization itself is able to provide make trusted referrals, which implies the existence of a network of trusted agents, which is what we're really leaning into. And so Skill Builder right now is doing what you and I have done since we probably knew how to communicate, and that's hey, what movie? What's your favorite thing? Hey, you guys are from that neighborhood, right? Hey, you guys are from Dennis. Hey, this is the kind of referral based on stuff that we do all day. But we've optimized that with AI agents that act on your behalf and report back not only as the referral was made, but what happened in the outcome. And so we're 2 years into the commercialization. Whenever you build a startup, that first year is a lot of hand waving and you pushing the button, not letting your live demo happen. And now we really have the thing, not to discount the first year and a half, but we really have a thing. It's being used by hundreds of organizations, the likes of Visit Pittsburgh, CMU, Pitt, Point Park, for various ways. The disposition is very much like sales and development, so visitor, customer facing, where the person wants an answer, wants an outcome, and that outcome can involve a referral. I'll tease it here, but we're working on a huge initiative using those agents to make Pittsburgh the most AI connected city in the world. So doubling down on the actual regional strengths. And we'll have more news about that on the next time I'm on.
So for those that maybe kind of new to this concept and stuff, like where would they kind of see this kind of applied in day to day?
So let me answer you in kind of like my 5,000 foot view is, I think we're quickly realizing that the way that we're engaging with the internet is fundamentally changing. We're no longer going to a text search bar to put in words that get us to a content management system that's flat, that we have to dig around and find out what they want us to do, where should I go. Now we're having conversations with the internet, increasingly both in voice and text. And so that'll only continue to skyrocket. And the way that will, we believe, the vision is that those content will be in the form of conversations, in the form of agents that not only are contextual with the organization, the person, the company, but understand the kind of rules of engagement of how to engage and then how to make referrals. And so we want to build the infrastructure to that new web.
So this is kind of, we've been trying to make the distinction here when we talk about AI, because everybody thinks ChatGPT. Everybody thinks about this thing that you ask questions that gives you the wrong answer, right? But we've been kind of making the argument about hey, what if, like the notebook LM concept, or telling ChatGPT to look at a document and parse some information in it. Like it feels like that's what you're, to relate something we've been talking about on the show. That sounds like what you're creating here. You're creating kind of a bucket expertise to talk to in this chatbot kind of format. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, we live in that universe of the foundational models, right? The arms race that's afoot with these trillion-dollar companies being formed that are building, what the underlying models that we're operating on, and we are agnostic to all of them, so we kind of ride on top of that. So when they get faster and include more features, or frankly get cheaper and more efficient, not only do we benefit, so all of our users do, but we have we're more of like if you think of it, more of a small model. So we have the data that's the most important to the organization or person that's operating on top of that. And we, based on their unique mission objectives, their business objectives, and the outcomes they want, we act accordingly. So we answer in their tone and culture based on the way that they've trained it from voices from across the organization. Recordings, manuals, documents that are core to their AI colleague being as contextual and as awesome at their job as possible. And then understanding what that network, what the context of a community of other agents means, and how do we create 0-second referrals. So I'm looking for, I'm going to Light of Life. I need help with housing. I get a placement, but I also probably have ancillary needs. I can ask for, hey, can you recommend somebody that can help with mental health or food or anything like that? And it'll instantly know in that network of now hundreds and hundreds of agents to be directed to immediately. So nobody falls through the gaps. That person and that organization deliver an amazing service. And this is just our nonprofit community. We have a whole for-profit where if you're going to CMU, if you're applying to CMU, you want to know what Pittsburgh's life, like beyond, the day-to-day of school. What are the neighborhoods like? Where should I go? How do I get involved with this specific community? What is there for fun to do? No, but for real, what are the parks like? And so all those ancillary and complementary organizations have a trusted agent on that network that we're building.
Okay, and these are all you said, like, I'm trying to understand the interconnectedness. So they're all kind of, you talk about like all these what's Pittsburgh like kind of buckets are kind of shared across these companies' chatbots, right?
Yeah, so they live on wherever you and I engage. So right now, I think the default is on people's main landing pages, but you're seeing them on their social platforms, directories, email signatures.
Okay.
You're seeing in email campaigns. I can't talk about it too much, but we just worked with a company to do, in the form of QR codes, a fleet of their agents throughout the neighborhoods, so that not only can they be more responsive when they're delivering services, but also they can be more contextual on what is said in that specific community versus this community, and how do we optimize the messaging and the service.
So is this like, kind of is this the kind of thing where, say, like, I notice there's QR codes and everything at like the bus stops now, right? That give you all the information.
Sure.
Could that turn into, hypothetically, like this could be a thing where I hit that QR code and it gives me a chatbot that tells me like more information about like, okay, how do I do a fare? How do I do this? What can I walk, or what can I walk to from here? What's near this bus stop, or something like that.
Well, and like I said, I think what the modality is changing. So
right.
QR codes right now get us to a website.
Yeah.
Where we ultimately have to search and dig and find. Now it's going to go to a conversation that's really contextual about physically where you are, what the organization, and what the outcomes are.
And you mentioned email campaigns, and I know that's something that Katie is pretty deep into. So is that the emails are sent out sort of as conversation starters to continue through?
It's just another vehicle to start to initiate that conversation. So wherever you and I have either a digital connection to an organization. So let's say I on the that annual event, the Give Big Pittsburgh, where they're emailing you all day and please support us. What if there were one of the organizations had an activation where their mascot had a little animated thing that said, hey, ask me about volunteering, ask me about our mission, ask me about the impact we've made this year, versus just having to read a bunch of bullet points or go to a website. Wherever we would engage with them now it's an extra layer of engagement where I don't have to commit to talking to a human or signing up for a meeting. At first, I want to learn more. I want to build trust. Frankly, for the organization, they want to qualify me, right? What makes for a qualified prospect or conversation? And then how do I get right to do I want a document to download? Do I want to attend that gala or the webinar? Or do I want to meet the executive director or one of their partner organizations through a referral?
Interesting. Katie, like I said, it feels like this connects a lot with the communications that you kind of deal with here. I wonder if it's got your brain itching with ideas.
Oh gosh, it's in the nonprofit world.
Yes.
I work with a breast cancer support organization, and something that we run across in when you said Light of Life is there's so many questions you have going into this, and not knowing the questions to ask to begin with, and being directed to, okay, do you have a question about what kind of surgery you want to have? What's the protocol with giving them the questions to ask their medical personnel, because it's sometimes you don't even know that when it's in certain situations, especially that one.
No, Katie, I mean, it's exactly one of my favorite use cases of serving as that kind of pre-intervention of just, I need resources, right? I'm usually scared. I'm underinformed or I'm lacking context. I don't want to have to talk to anybody because I haven't figured it out in my head yet. So we're working with a bunch of organizations that offer that kind of service to specific, amazingly communities. I'm thinking of one. It's a national org based out of Miami. They deal with ovarian cancer, a specific type of ovarian cancer, and their Skilly, which is what our AI agents are called, serves as the first touch point. It's very empathetic. It speaks like the organization, but ultimately it wants to get you the documents, the appointments, or the resources that you ultimately need. And at the end of the day, you do want to see a human once you've had a little bit more, once you feel a little bit more agency or empowerment.
Mhm. Oh, I love that because it's one of those things. It's like you don't even know where to begin with a lot of this, and it's there's the fear of the stupid question.
Right,
There's the
right.
fear of we don't like to talk to people until we hit a
Mhm.
certain point in
Right.
things.
Now, a couple of things, in that case, we have guardrails specifically on we don't give medical advice, right? We don't speak about certain topics, but we ultimately get you to the people that are the experts in that and are empowered with that to give you the best next steps, and hopefully that's in person.
Mm-hmm. And it sounds like you're getting. I think we've all had the it's not necessarily AI as much, but we've all had like the Verizon bot problem where you're just like, how do I do this on the bill? And it just gives you a question you don't want, kind of thing. This should more intelligently kind of wrap around the conversation than we're probably used to.
That's sort of the elephant in the room, right? Like,
Yeah.
it's so funny that, like, I think we all acknowledge that, we're going to a conversation dynamic with the web, but I think everybody on this call is old enough to know that, like, the current vessel that it's going to has a legacy of being crappy, right?
Mhm.
Because it's menu driven, right? And it's right now it doesn't understand context. It just understands if you said that, it goes to this.
Yeah.
The good news about what's coming and what we're building is it understands context and nuance. And on the back end, this notion of agentic is it's doing things that are mission aligned to the website you're going to, the organization you're visiting, or the person you're trying to reach.
Awesome. So, are there? You mentioned, is there any place we can go to see this in action now?
Oh yeah, so we have tons of examples on the website,
Mhm.
on skillbuilder.io, and then we'll be doing a big push. We're trying to do an initiative with a whole myriad of amazing organizations, both for and nonprofit, to really create a network that creates kind of a safety net of connectivity around the region with certain anchor tenants. So you'd expect the big organizations like a Pittsburgh or community resident, front doors and then kind of guides on where to get the most value of the resources and people you need. And we'll be putting public networks up where you can both find the organization you already know and use it for discovery.
Excellent. Very cool. And of course, that's get started at skillbuilder.io. What's the scalability for, like, I'm a small business, what's the scalability for like my needs as a, me and my wife in a small business?
I mean, it's interesting. So we've trained, in addition to selling the software, we've partnered with the Forbes Funds and Greater Pittsburgh Nonprofit to not only give the tools, but train the people. And we work with, I'm thinking of a handful of orgs that are 1.5 people,
Mhm.
over a dozen that are 2. And this gives them a little bit more capacity, right? So it's answering the questions that they normally would take up their day. It's providing documents or signing people up for events or collecting small dollar donations or doing volunteer engagement. It's the 15th thing that they had to do that day, and it's already being done. So we're working with organizations as small. I'm thinking one in Homestead right now. They're literally 1.5 people, and there's a food bank in Mount Oliver that is one person standing it up, as big as some of the biggest law firms in the world. So this is a no-code, low-code platform such that we have a lot of power under the hood and a bunch of research powering it, but we want to make sure it's as accessible as possible. And accessibility also means, like, hey, I'm just a solopreneur, and I need to have an AI answer to all these things going underfoot. And so we're seeing it being proved that in a matter of hours, in fact, I'm thinking of one that did it overnight, signed up for the platform and had it scheduling meetings by noon. Most take a couple weeks, not because of the platform, because their business process is happening, but it makes it really easy. If anybody's interested, I'd love to talk to you about, like, what you're thinking of on AI in general, because nothing has moved faster. I've been building companies for 30 years, and we're learning and we're trying to stay ahead of it. But I'd love to hear where is it really getting people where it matters most.
Awesome. I have to address this wonderful beam of light that's coming from your head right now, like this lens flare going on. I don't know if it's the sun or what. But it's wild since you don't see the source because you just disappeared. So that's okay. Somebody had like a money boa that they made for the wrestling show last week, and it just completely enveloped it. Zoom's fun. So awesome. Very, very cool. We'll stick around. We have a couple more stories here before we leave. We'll have some fun stuff here. Dave, you got an update if you're an Apple fan, because we just talked about how much we are.
Oh yeah, and the update is it's almost early September.
Mm-hmm.
So today Apple did announce that they are going to have their big event on the 9th.
Oh.
And it's going to be, I want to get the right phrasing here because they went punny on us.
It's fancy. It's a fancy. Look at it glowing.
Well, here's the really neat thing. If you open it up on a touch device, like a phone or an iPad,
Hmm.
and you touch the Apple logo, it actually acts like a little heat signature. So it actually changes color underneath your finger.
We're gonna try that.
So, basically, it's going to be a little different this year because they're going to have the base iPhone 17.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have the Pro and the Pro Max, but instead of having the iPhone 17 Max, they're just going to have the iPhone Air. So the Air will be, to steal a phrase, wafer thin. It will be exceptionally thin with a big old camera bump on the back. It's going to have more downgraded camera technology, is a rumor, but the thinness is what the big deal is. And my guess is they're doing the thinness just to show off, hey, we can make the world's thinnest phone. Great, wonderful. But next year, they're going to take everything they learned from making this thin phone to make a foldable phone. So when it's folded up, it won't be much thicker than your current phone. So when it's unfolded, it'll be really thin. And so I'm thinking this is a test case for it. Also, possible new Apple Watches or new Apple Watch, the Ultra, coming out. There, of course, there's rumors of the new headphones. And whether the Pros are going to be Pro 3s or they're just going to add new features to the Pro 2s. Like last year they added the hearing aids.
Right.
Pro 2. So they could try that again, before introducing the 3. So, basically it's in 2 weeks. So, normally they give you a week for a lot of the people, but it sounds like they're giving 2 weeks. It's always the week after Labor Day, so nothing unexpected here. Like I said, some bump up camera technology, possibly changing the zoom, maybe not, going from 5 to 8. Front camera going to 24 megapixels, so you're going to double the resolution of the front camera, which could be a big thing. Tying it into the show later, that'll be on later. If you want to make sure that your promos you're taking with your front-facing camera look good. You still need to do the basic work, but you
Yeah.
make it look a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's going to go on, but yeah, I think that the big thing is going to be what they're going to call the iPad, not the iPad, the iPhone 17 Air.
Mm-hmm. So, and of course, these are all rumors. These are all through the rumor mill, but they've been pretty close.
The Air's pretty solid with what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I think they're pretty solid because you're hearing it from multiple people multiple times.
Is this a good year to upgrade my iPads that are not even, I can't even bring them up on the Apple Care one?
The question is, do they still work?
They do, it's individual tasks. This has 16 gigabytes on it, so I can't even update it. So, and that's the original iPad Pro that we run this stuff, like, So it's good for that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, and my thought always about updating is, especially with the phones and the iPads, where
Mm-hmm.
they stay good for a long time.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Is my
You need it.
yeah.
If it's like, oh, this is getting kind of old, or I'm running out of space, or yeah, it's starting to have issues. It would be a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Get it? I don't think any of the big, this is going to be amazing, mind-blowing iPad updates
Mm-hmm.
next year, maybe the year after.
Okay. Good to know. And it seems like they've been late on releases. So.
Yeah, and they're trying to move production around so it isn't so China heavy.
Yeah, I know they're part of a process there. So I heard the iPhones are coming from India perhaps this year. So it's good. I think everybody learned a lesson 5 years ago around COVID, around supply chains. Those aren't getting better. And everybody, I think this started 5 years ago after everybody saw what happened with supply chains, and that you're going to see more of this. So I got one more story.
Well, before.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
How many events, specifically marquee events, can Apple have without having an AI answer?
Because the question's getting asked every time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Like
honestly,
we have AIR.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I would say they have until WWDC next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would be it. And this is one thing I heard on the Tech John, their podcast I listened to. ChatGPT has not been out for 3 years yet.
Nope.
We forget it's brand new. So, yes, Google, Meta have really caught up and got ahead, but Apple does not build, and Microsoft even, but Apple just doesn't have the engineers, and they're not paying them.
But if they're going to integrate, as we're seeing, we already have ChatGPT in there. If they're going to allow other models in there, are they really going to need to? Because they can just ride that until they have something that they think is better, and has the Apple polish to it a little bit more, right? So like,
That's my thought is you'll be able to do some things on device
Mhm.
you don't want to give out like it is now.
Yeah.
But anything longer, you can put it out to whatever, whichever one you agree to. And I think that's a business thing really between, let's say, them and Google.
and I think, we got like, Image Playground and stuff that I think is all on device. I think it's like, what we're talking about, the compartmentalization, we were talking about earlier, Kit, right? Where, they could roll out little things the phone can do by itself more than just making emojis, and says, hey, we're going to be able to look at your fitness. Let's look at your rings and tell you how you're doing and tell you more about it. Why don't we just apply it to the self action? The what was it? The data self. There's another term for it that's escaping me right now. But
Let's say they are definitely going to specifically that
Mhm.
for the watch this year.
has to
You're
be.
going to have an on-device coach.
You're gonna
A fitness buddy.
a fitness buddy.
Fitness buddy.
Doesn't that app already exist?
You're doing great.
We're gonna have a fitness clippy.
From what it sounded like at the now it maybe tweaked since WWDC in the
Yeah.
summer, but it sounds like a fitness.
I'm curious. I want to see how that goes. There's already, even thinking about, there's been things with, weren't there things around the Apple Watch or phone about your walk gait and how that, as you become older, that signifies something and it will alert you to it. I would love if it was able to do something similar with, because I'm getting more into the machines and the lifting now, is like, that helps me with my form. Like it feels like is something it could be doing. But I don't know. That's a lot of variety, I'm sure. So, but other way. Oh, it'll be interesting to see what happens here in just a few weeks, actually. So it's coming up quick. It's crazy. All right. I'm going to send you guys home happy and fuzzy on this one. Katie, you're going to love this one. I think it's the last line in the doc. So this video has been all around my feed over the last year or last week here. But a DIYer in China has a condo and just added a subway for pet cats. It is, yes, it's cat sized. I think sometimes you see the guy set it up, and yeah, there's a, there's a guy sitting in the area there. But this is part of the video that's been going around here. Yeah, and there was like, and they were talking about it was like the cats arrived to the subway station on the subway car as part of this video, which was absolutely tremendous. And look, he's greeting him. So. And this isn't the only thing he's done. He's done like a condo that had like a movie theater and things like that. There is a note that I believe his wife owns like a pet store or something, and has really helped with business for that too. So it's a nice little addition along with the viral video. This is a little bit of the pet condo, baby for scale. Oh, this is what I wanted to see, the outside. So you see it's a pretty open space, and there's like the cylinder thing where everything. Yeah, there's actually an elevator. Oh, the child can go in the elevator. Say in this video and everything. The cat's got its little TV, and it's got a little bed and everything. It opens the door for the giant child. So that's tremendous. So that's the pet condo. It's been going around a lot. So oh, it's making a little eggs. Jeez, I did not know how to make eggs at that age, that's for sure. So there you go. You have your little dinner.
Oh my.
As adorable.
So that looked like a real fridge then.
Mm-hmm.
That did not look like a like you would see in a dollhouse.
The oven was real.
Yeah, the oven was real.
Yeah.
The fridge was real. Yeah.
Yeah, this is tremendous.
And the miniature screens there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very detailed.
Any ideas?
Katie, what do you think?
It's great. You have to find the video where at the end he's like, the worst part is the cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're in there and he just keeps bonking his head off of everything.
Oh, I saw that one too. Yep.
It's just like, this is the worst part.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess he's been working on this since 2023. He spent half a year building the luxury apartment for his cats, and yeah, fully functional and everything like that. So I love it. Oh wait, here is the theater. Was that a gerbil or something in there? So tremendous. So yeah, it looks like a full theater. Oh, they got scared away from the bomb. There you go. So you can check that out. It's everywhere. I found it on a Canadian website. City News Service .cn was where we found that article. But like they're everywhere. Just type cat condo, cat subway, something like that. So but there you go. Kit, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
It's always good to get an update from you and see what's going on. I always like seeing what the heck you're up to these days. Always building something new.
You too.
So again, skillbuilder.io. Anything else that people should be following you on or anything? Where are you living on social media?
Well, I mean, we still, we sunset Rust Belt, our startup community building stuff, but we still publish and curate the Pittsburgh Startup News. So it goes out to, I think, 7,300 people a week every Monday. It's all the events, news, resources, and opportunities each week. So you can find us at pittsburghstartupnews.com.
Excellent. That's a Substack, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I got it right here for you. There you go. Go sign up for that. Substack's the way to go. Excellent. And Dave Ponder of the iPhoneography podcast. I just dusted off some old clips we hadn't put out from when your
I saw that my compatriot Greg was on.
Yes. So
yeah.
I was like,
it's very much appreciated.
Ran out of clips, so
And,
it was. I like dusting those off and throwing up what we thought about WWDC a couple months ago, right? So and Greg was such a great guest. We gotta get him on.
Yeah.
Maybe after the iPhone announcements.
Yep. We will have our own longer event, just
absolutely
focusing on that. But
absolutely,
because last night we had a show focusing on portrait mode and different ways you can use it. In addition to the normal, a portrait shot of a person, but other ways it can be used, and tips on how to get the most out of it.
I've been trying to tell the wrestlers to do their promos with cinematic mode, to add a little bit of zip to it. We shot some stuff for the cold opens or for the Thursday night training shows, and I loved what we did because they're right by the bridge that goes over the train tracks at the top of what street is that? Near PJ McArdle and up Carson and everything. And I just loved it a few weeks ago. So, KatieDudas.com is your starting point, I know.
Yes, things and stuff and cats. I have cats.
You do it. We don't see pictures of your cats too often.
No, you might see a tail every so often, but they will not come up here and interact. Only very sparingly when I really don't want them to.
Oh, the important business meetings, not the podcast, right?
Oh yeah. It's like, buddy, no one wants to see your butt.
This is the one with the accountant. Please don't.
Please don't.
Yes. And of course, Sorgatron on everything. Sorgatron.com. I think I got all the Russian bots out of there. Like Rich, my brother messaged me. He's like, "Is this your post?" And they tagged me in it. And I'm like, "What?" So I don't know what's going on. I think I got to update PHP or something. But anyways, Sorgatron.com, at Sorgatron on most of the platforms as well, and you can see everything going on. And of course, a lot of the clips from these shows. And if you follow us on social media, we get a lot of those clips too. It's just something easy, you know. If you saw something, and it'll probably be a clip later this week. And today we dropped the clip of the show, the full clip of the show where Podner was talking about the LED pumpkin from Sam's Club from last week, so you can get your Halloween on a little bit early here. But you know what, pumpkin spice is back at most places, so I guess it is that time, and it really feels like it here in Pittsburgh. So either way, thank you. And again, Patreon, stick around. We'll stick around for probably hit up a couple of these extra stories at Patreon for the awesome after talk. We've been having some great discussions on there lately, and sometimes if we're mad about something, we try to be less awesome over there instead of here on the main show. So keeping it positive for the feed. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you, Chachi, for his video game minute. You have been our awesome audience. Have an awesome week. This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at Sorgatron.